Hello, this is Dr. Do again. This video is outside of medicine. Continue to read the Psalm. I'm going to read Psalm 114. I'm going to read it. When Israel came out of Egypt, the house of Jacob from a people of foreign tongue, Judah became God's sanctuary, Israel his dominion. The sea looked and fled, the Jordan turned back. The mountains skipped like rams, the hills like lambs. Why was it, O sea, that you fled, O Jordan, that you turned back? Your mountains that you skipped like a ram, your hill like a lamb? Tremble, O earth, at the presence of the Lord, at the presence of the God of Jacob, who turned the rock into a pool, the hard rock into springs of water. So this is the Psalm 114. It's quite short, so we can just spend less time on this. This is, again, we do not know the author, we do not know the circumstances, we do not know the time when the Psalm was written, but we know the tone. The tone of the Psalm is really use this solid, the sea, the mountain, the hills, and also some animals like rams or lambs, the parables to indicate how powerful the God is, the God they believe, how powerful it is. So when Israel came out of Egypt, the house of Jacob from a people of foreign tongue, Judah became God's sanctuary, Israel his dominion. So this is saying at the time when the Israelites, led by Moses out of Egypt, and the house of Jacob from people of foreign tongue, so all the descendants of Jacob living in Egypt speak different language, and Judah became God's sanctuary, Israel his dominion. So saying the situation that was what happened after they left Egypt. And the sea looked and fled, Jordan turned back. The mountains skipped like rams and the hills like lambs. So this is saying that the sea looked and fled. So probably it may or may not referring the opening up of Red Sea, so they crossed over, or just in general, after they left Egypt, they established their own people together. They worship God, so all the sea just looked and fled, or Jordan turned back, so all the other people in those territories turned back, and the mountains skipped like a ram and the hill like a lamb, saying that nature yielded to these people because of God they believe. Why was it, O sea, that you fled, O Jordan, that you turned back, your mountains that you skipped like a ram, your hills like a lamb? Or saying why this nature, all the nature phenomena, or nature, either animals or the mountains or the seas or the hills, they all yield to God. Why? Tremble, O earth, at the presence of the Lord. Tremble is the nature, tremble in front of the God, the Lord they believe. At the presence of God of Jacob, because the God of Jacob, they all trembled and fled. Who turned the rock into a pool, the hard rock into springs of water. So this God, how powerful is this God? Turned the rock into a pool, and turned the rock into spring of water. So turn those solid rock, flowing the water in the well. So if imagine desert, the water is so precious. So everywhere are the rocks and the sands and lifeless. But with this God, so there is some oasis, because the rocks turn into water to flow, to nourish in the desert. So this is Psalm 114. It's very short, but I can sense the strong tone, very strong, that to praise this God, how powerful this God is. From the nature yielded, the mountain, the hill, the animal, the river, the sea, they all yield because of God. Even the rock can spring out of the water from the stones. So this is about the. I did not use the word stone, but instead use the rock. I think they probably the same, rock and stone. So this is a really probably there are very deeper meanings, but from the short psalm here, we see the strong faith holding in the people of Israel, the descendant of Jacob, hold the strong faith that they, under their God, to get the water, pull the water from the rock, the nature will yield. So this is about Psalm 114. So from this short Psalm 114, I see the faith, and I see the confidence because of the faith. So since it is short, so I'm going to stop here, and thank you for watching. I will see you next time. I hope that you can read and interpret in your own way.